Hi, Taurus. I'm here for your weekly reading for June. I'm sorry, my brain just kind of went, okay, what am I talking about? June 28th through July 4th. Sometimes, the brain cells take a second because I was like somewhere else. Um, not not like somewhere else completely because I was actually thinking about your reading. So, but anyway, Taurus, hi. Um, I'm here with your reading for this next week. I am sorry that I missed last week. I'll try not to let that happen again. So yeah, but I'm here with your reading. And so let's just jump right in. Okay. And so, Taurus, for the theme for your week, you did get the Prince of I'm so sorry, the Prince of Autumn. I almost said winter, and that is not right. Prince of Autumn, but it was in reverse for you. And, so that is all about, jumping into things without really thinking your way through it, right? Because normally, uh, the Prince of Autumn is just really cautious about the actions that they take. They really think about it. They really put a lot of time and effort into it. Uh, that's what the Prince of Winter normally is about, but this is in reverse, and so it's just the opposite. So it's you're gonna find that you may be feeling like really jumping into things and just not really stop taking your breath to stop and think it through, and so that's going to lead to maybe some wise choices along the way. And so really be cautious of that for this week because that is going to be the theme for you. And so kind of keep an eye out for that. And your obstacle for the week, you got the Queen of Autumn in reverse. And so the Queen of Autumn is normally about really, again, being very practical, very respectful in how she proceeds with things. And so because of that, she's able to create a lot of beauty, right? And so when it's in reverse, again, it goes back to not being practical about your steps this week. So this is two cards that are saying really watch your decision making process this coming week. Really pay attention because you're going to natural instinct this week is going to be jump first and ask questions later. And Taurus, that's not you normally, but that's going to be your theme for the week. And so really watch that. Be careful that you're not falling into that mode, right? Continue to be cautious, continue to be wise, continue to think things through. Because sometimes things happen and we let our emotions take over and then we make all kinds of poor choices, right? And so just really make sure you're taking a pause. Take a pause, Taurus. That's your goal for the week. Take a pause. And then for advice, you got the King of Summer, but he was also reversed. And the King of Summer. Obviously, my mouth is not working, but you know what? You know me. If you've been watching any of my videos, if you follow me on Facebook, by the way, if you're not following me on Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook, Day Healing Arts on Facebook. You'll know that my mouth doesn't always cooperate with my brain. Anyway, the King of Summer is all about excellent advice, getting excellent advice. He's very good at giving you advice. So the universe is telling you when it's in reverse, be careful of getting bad advice. Okay, that's really what I'm picking up for you this week. I'm going to check in with my pendulum, make sure that we're on the right track here. Yeah, watch out for bad advice. Pendulum agrees, and so that could also lead to that bad decision making, right? That not proceeding with caution because you're listening to not very good advice. And maybe it would be good advice for someone else, but it's not for you and not in this certain case. So be very cautious about the advice you pay attention to this week. Okay. And so then for your Healing with Fairies card, for you, and I didn't look it up. So bear with me for one brief second. I wasn't prepared. Go figure. I'm drawn to not being prepared. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Most of the time I'm not. Okay, here we go. Sexuality is what came up for you this week for healing, Taurus. Your sexual self I'm so sorry. Let's start that over. Your sexual self needs some attention. By drawing this card, you're urged to be honest with yourself about your sexuality and to take appropriate steps. Sexuality is an important part of life, not just to our physical self, but also to our emotional and spiritual selves. The fairy realm understands the unique joy that comes from sexual experiences. They know about the divine light that is created when you merge with a beloved partner. They understand the release that sexuality brings about. By drawing this card, you are being guided to heal any sexual issues that may have arisen from negative experiences. If you were ever sexually abused, this card may signal a call for help from your inner self. You may be directed to seek professional counseling or a support group to overcome negative sexual or body image issues, or to heal a sexually unsatisfying relationship. The fairies will guide you to the appropriate resources so that you can be truly free to express the dynamic aspects of your sexuality. And an affirmation for that is, my sexual self is attractive, healthy, and able to experience great pleasure. I'm taking a pause myself right now because I'm trying to piece together why the spirit guides feel that plays out in your reading. And I think I'm on the I think I'm picking up what they're laying down, but I'm using my pendulum to fact check myself here, right? Fact check with the guides. So, so your card is about bad advice and not making correct actions, correct decisions, jumping in too quickly, not thinking things through, not being cautious. So I feel that that ties in with your sexuality in a lot of ways, because sexuality is a very spiritual thing, and it's a physical thing, but it's also very spiritual. And sexuality is also the seat of our creation, right? It all sits in the sacral chakra. Our sexuality, our creativity, our manifesting abilities, and they all sit right in our sacral chakra. And so I want you to think about the sexuality part of this as creation. I'm going to change the word, okay? And the pendulum agrees with me. Creation. So if you're looking at, I think that card came up for you because it needs you to really tap into that sacral chakra and think about other ways you could solve your problems instead of just jumping in. And also, if you are struggling with sexuality, it's calling you out to heal that. And that could be causing you, that in itself, that wounding that you received in that area could be part of the reason that you're jumping in without being cautious and making a decision, right? You'd be surprised at the things we do when we think we're trying to heal a trauma. We may be re-traumatizing ourselves. Happens all the time, right? Because we obviously need to be beat over the head to learn our lessons. And so if you're healing from if you've had sexual trauma in the past, this is really encouraging you to check into that. And how is that affecting your current decision-making processes? Pendulum agrees. So I'm going with that. Okay. And also in that same vein, I pulled you a card from the chakra deck, and this is actually a root chakra card, but I think it goes hand in hand with the rest of the reading because it's about no worries, right? It says, remember that protection is your divine birthright. Ground your energy into Gaia with a vibrant garnet red grounding cord that you send from between your hips down into the depths of her sacred womb. Send all of your fears, worries, and concerns down that cord and feed them back to the earth where they can be transformed and transmuted, returning to you as usable white light. And the crystal for that is red jasper and the herb is rosemary. And I'll tell you, because if that resonates with you, that you're healing that sexual trauma and that's what's causing some of this decision making in your life right now, part of that trauma then can go straight to root chakra blockage as well, because it may be that you don't feel safe, right? You don't feel safe in your own body. You don't feel safe with people of the opposite sex or sexual partners. I'm not going to say people of the opposite sex. I take that back right now. Back into my mouth it went. Sexual partners. So whatever your sexual preference is, and no judgments here. So you may want to look into that too. And so, but you need to feel safe. You need to remember that your safety is your divine birthright. You don't have to worry about things. You don't have to struggle. You can tap into Gaia at any time for that strength, that grounding, and that protection, because it is yours. It is your right to have. And we all have it. We all have that right. Whatever you did 10 years ago that you think made you not have that right, that's not true. Everyone has the right, regardless of what they've done or haven't done, or who they've done it with, or who they haven't done it with, or whatever has happened to you in your life, or whatever bad choices you've made or good choices you've made, or everywhere in between. It doesn't matter. Your right is to be safe, regardless of anything else in the world. Sex, race, religion, it doesn't matter. You have the right to be safe. And the planet provides that for us. Gaia provides that. And so really kind of look at your sacral. So I'm thinking your lower chakra areas need to be worked out for you, Taurus. So kind of be working on those this week. And think about I also think this gives you pause when making your decisions to reflect back to these words and say, okay, wait a minute. I'm about to react in this way, but where is that really coming from for me? Right? Is that coming from a wounding, a trauma? And how can I then stop myself, break myself, and make a better decision? Take the time to think this week, Taurus, instead of reaction. Okay? Okay. And then intention cards. Selfless happiness. I wish happiness for all forms of creation, asking that all living and sentient beings have what they seek so long as it harms none. In wishing happiness for others, I also receive personal satisfaction because we are all intricately connected within the web of life. Stone for that is celestite, and the essential oil is myrrh. And I love that because when we're healing ourselves, isn't it great to think that in doing so we can help heal others? But that also works in reverse too, right? Sometimes we're so able to help others more than we're able to help ourselves. Well, it's easier for us to help heal others than it is ourselves. And so by helping heal others and wishing happiness for them and setting an intention for their happiness, guess what? You're going to get linked into that matrix, whether you want to or not, because we're connected. And so you're going to receive that happiness right back too. So that's a really good intention setting for you this week. And also burning for truth. I live in deep transparency and I honor my inner truth. I recognize my voice and trust it above the voices of other humans. As I live my truth, I become a model of authentic living and give tacit permission to others to follow their own paths towards truth. And the stone for that is amazonite and the essential oils tea tree. And remember the card that you had as your universe card this week, advice from the universe, was talking about advice from others, right? Uh, recognize your own voice, recognize your own higher being talking to you, recognize what is right and true to your heart, because sometimes people give us advice with the best of intentions. They don't mean to set us on a wrong path. They want the best for us. They want to share love and kindness with us and help guide us if they possibly can. But Taurus, you're going to have to watch out for that this week. It's kind of your theme. And so recognize your own voice, and if someone gives you advice, fact check it against yourself, right? Like, seriously, you see me every once in a while, I'm picking up this pendulum going, okay, I need a fact check here. Am I on the right track? Is what I'm saying accurate and in alignment? And the pendulum's like, oh, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. And if the pendulum said, no, you're not, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not on the right track. Let me take a breath and reconnect so that I can get back onto the right track and hear what the message is. And so there you go. Look for your own truth this week, Taurus. And listen to the wisdom of your body, because, life loves you. And your body has a message for you. Listen to what it is telling you and thank your body for being the perfect messenger. Especially when it comes to sexuality. This card really goes well with that sexuality card, doesn't it? Because sometimes we aren't always listening to what our body is telling us, and sometimes then that leads to bad decision making, and then that leads to, or not decision making, right? Go either way. So there's that for you today, Taurus. Again, if you're interested in a personal reading, if you'd like to reach out to me with comments, suggestions, whatever, you can always email me at bonadehealingarts@gmail.com. I am on Facebook, Bonadea Healing Arts on Facebook. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and get more readings. Thank you so much for being here, Taurians. I love you all. I hope you have a fantastic week. A really happy 4th of July. And I will see you next time. Bye.